All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, what do we have? We have 74 people. I see we still have some coming in or trying to get in. Let me have a couple asking for access on email, so let me send them the link real quick. All right. So in the chat, you're going to want to make sure that you have the chat open on the side. You can get to that. If you hover in the middle, you get the little toolbar and you have a little message icon. Click on that. And that is going to pop up the chat over on the side. That's where you can ask questions. Michelle Adrian has popped the attendance link in for you today. I know a lot of people are having frontline issues. You are not alone. It is a district-wide issue. It's looking like it's about 30% of the teachers are having issues getting in. They are feverishly working on getting that fixed today. So we want to make sure we do an attendance for all of you who didn't get to register. So don't worry, you're going to get your attendance, you're going to get your points, you're going to get your proof that you attended. We will take care of you as long as you click on that attendance link and make sure that you sign in. I believe we have, like I said, we have Michelle Adrian. She's one of the digital integration specialists with us in the district. We also have Becky O'Donnell. Maybe they will turn their cameras on and wave at you. And then we also have Terry Beckham with us today from Professional Development. And Terry is going to answer all of those questions that I can't.
My pleasure.
For instance, Tiffany is asking, will we be able to get a district laptop with a camera to teach transitional? Tiffany, I would make that assumption, but I do know what happens when you assume. So reach out to admin for a definitive answer for that, but I do believe if a transitional teacher needs a device, that they will get one. I'm going to start.
Terry, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's Tiffany. I have my hand raised. When you said Tiffany, I thought you were referring to me. I'm sorry, but the question about will they get a camera with a laptop for transitional teachers, the goal is for teachers to have a laptop, and if not, they will have a document camera, the hover cams, which we tested and seemed to work really well for the Teams meetings and things like that. And that does have a microphone built in, and we have ordered a number of those. So for those teachers teaching transitional, we're going to get that list, and you guys will definitely have what you need to be prepared. And good morning, everybody.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Carrie.
Let me see. Tiffany raised her hand. She's trying this out on me, and I don't even know how it works. Suzanne Perino, I see you have your hand raised. Is that because you need to ask a question or on accident?
And to get the chat from the bar, and I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Good morning. Sean Dillon, I do not know the answer to that question. I would recommend that you reach out to your school administrative assistant. I believe they are the ones that deal with the lead money and know what would be covered and won't be covered. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Some people were asking, what is this fancy little thing? And it's just a website called Classroom Screen. And I actually just, it's in the ClassLink library. And just trying to, right here. So I just added it to my class link, so I have it like a shortcut. As of right now, it'll offer to let you log in, but it doesn't really like save any of your stuff. So it's like a one-time use thing. You pull it up, you throw everything up here that you need, use it for the day, and then you start over tomorrow. So you can see we have this pre-made background that we're going to use for our trainings for the next couple days. And so with Classroom Screen, I get this little toolbar down here at the bottom. And so I was able to click background, and they do random backgrounds, but you can also upload your own. So that's how I got that background. And then here are all the things you can throw up on your classroom screen. So as a transitional teacher, if you're doing a live lesson with your students, you can still use your computer screen just like you would use your projector in your classroom. So we're going to use a timer when we do kind of work on your own stuff. Whatever we're working on, I'm going to be pasting it in right here so that you know what we're doing. You can throw up the clock, your red light, yellow light, green light. You can tell the students, are they listening? Are they whispering? Is it silence? Can they work together? And then you can see you have some random names, dice. If they're all in the classroom, the sound level is really fun, because it will sit there and track how loud the students are getting. And if you go above a 3, then there will be an alarm that goes off. So that's fun. Draw QR codes, timer, stopwatch, clock, calendar. So we really enjoy using this for our trainings. So if you've been to any of our trainings over the summer, you probably saw it. But that's what that is, app.classroomscreen.com. Okay. I want to start by going to Canvas. So if you are going to follow, you can follow along today. If you want to click around, I'm going to give you some time to work, but you can also just watch if you need to, and that's fine. We're, with most of you being transitional or remote teachers, we have a large spread of where people are and how comfortable they are with Canvas. So this is a warm-up. If you've seen the training schedule, there's 2 a day for the next 3 days. So this is just your intro. We're just going to kind of do a virtual tour of where everything's at, how it all works. And then this afternoon, we do have transitional templates that we're going to show you how to load. And I believe Michelle's going to talk to you about, Michelle, what's this afternoon's training? Canvas templates and
Conferences.
Thank you, Becky. And so I'll pull that up in a minute, but we try to house everything in Canvas for you. So you should all have access to the digital teacher resource. If it is not already on your Canvas dashboard, it should be in your class link. So in your class link, it is a red button that says digital teacher resources. So you can access it from either location. And then within the DTR, this is where we put all of the resources for teachers that are digitally associated. So we talked to you about Canvas and Focus and Office 365. When we trained teachers who had the laptop carts in their classrooms, we went through a program called Digital Basics. There's information about digital formative assessments and how to convert to a paperless classroom, applications you can use for student engagement. So all of that information is here. There's a ton of stuff. One of the main ones are these virtual training videos. If you click on that, every training we did in the spring when we went home is here, and then all the trainings we did over the summer are here. So if you click on the spring 2020 videos, you're going to see Canvas 101 with the agenda, Canvas 201 with the agenda. So if you are at the lower end of the spectrum as far as your Canvas knowledge, this is a really good place for you to be able to go and watch the videos at your own pace, pause, and then in another screen or on another device, work as we work. Okay, so we do try to record the trainings for you. Sometimes the recordings fail, but we do try to make all of that available. If it's working, Michelle's recording today's training, so we will also have the recording link for that. So again, here is where, and this is most of everything that we'll be covering this week. All of the recordings right here. And if I click the back button, we also did a lot of trainings over the summer called Techie Tuesday. I know a lot of you were there for that. Thank you for coming. And so here we have the template training, which we're going to do later this afternoon. And then we have the deep dives. So we have the deep dives into the rich content editor, the deep dive into modules, and then there's some other stuff, synchronous versus asynchronous learning. And of course, that's your face-to-face versus your virtual/transitional. We have Rock the Classroom 2.0, which are teacher tools. And you can see from Michelle's thumbnail that classroom screen is one of the ones she talks about. Then we have training on Canvas Studio, and that's going to be recording yourself giving lectures or recording yourself working on the computer, like doing a screencast. And then Becky has this fantastic training on using Sway and Forms. So again, all of these trainings have been pre-recorded and are available to everyone in the DTR. So those are there. Okay, we also have the New Teacher Survival Kit. This is what I go through at New Teacher Orientation. So if you are a brand new teacher to the district and you went through New Teacher Orientation, that is the email that you received, and all of that information is here. If you, for instance, click on Canvas, this isn't just the what is Canvas that is in the digital parent resource and the digital student resource. This is actually resources for you. So we do have a Canvas overview, but we also have instructions for how to import content from like last year's course into one this year. We have why you should use modules. We have how you can print a Canvas quiz to a PDF. The old way of how to transfer grades. New trainings coming on that. How to create a parent observer account in Canvas. So these are those instructions you can print. I know some teachers are getting exam view tests, quiz banks with their new textbooks. So this tells you how to create your test in exam view, but then how to load it into Canvas so students can take it in Canvas. So all of that stuff is there for you. Those are the kind of resources that you can find in the DTR. If you're not already familiar with that, as a transitional teacher, this is going to be a powerful tool for you. And then finally, our first icon is Back to School 2020. And if you click on Back to School 2020, just like over the summer, you will see the schedule of all of the trainings. This is going into next week. And then with the training, you have the Teams meeting link. So this is how you can find us for the training. And then we have the attendance link and the feedback link. So please, please, please at the end of the training do the feedback, simply because it tells me how to adjust the training for next week. So if there's something you really liked, something you didn't, I won't get my feelings hurt. I love critiques and criticism. That's the only way I can get better. So please make sure you do the feedback link for us to let us know what worked and didn't work for you today. Also, the attendance link will expire because people cannot come back later in the day or later in the week and do the attendance and get credit. So you will need to do that attendance link now that we're in the beginning of this training. So please, if you've not done that already, please do your attendance so that you can get your points and your credit for being here today. We also try to link to information for you. So for example, we are currently doing the Canvas intro. So if I'm going to open this in a new tab because I don't want to lose my screen. But what that's going to take you to is a Canvas 101 course. This is a completely different course than what you're in. And so it talks to you about option 1. You can watch a 2-hour recorded webinar. And what that's going to do is, rather than watching a whole bunch of short videos or going through this, it's going to be a full 2-hour video presentation that covers all the main features of Canvas. So if after our 2 hours here today, you're still not feeling comfortable, this is another resource for you that you can sit and watch and become more comfortable. Option 2, they have a self-paced format. And this goes through course layout, calendar, files, page creation. So maybe you're just like, I'm still not comfortable with assignments, right? So you can click on this assignment overview and go through that little self-paced module to help you understand that aspect better. So that is right there in the link and back to school. We also have today's training agenda. So if you would like to pull that up, print, follow along, make notes. It's a fillable, so you can fill it in on the PDF and save it. That's also available to you today. So I'm going to jump back over to the team. Michelle and Terry, do I have any questions I need to pause and answer?
No, I think you're.
Yeah, everything's taken care of.
All right, wonderful. Good job, ladies. You make it easy. All right, I'm going to turn my camera off just so we don't have any lag. All right, so looking at the training agenda, we are going to talk about just kind of the overview of Canvas. So Canvas is a learning management system. When you click on Canvas from ClassLink, you're going to see a dashboard something like this. Now, we have it set up where it splits your page in half. The top half are published courses, right? So these are courses that either you are a teacher of or you are a student of. So in Canvas, you as a teacher can be a student, right? So if I take a course from somebody else, when I get the identifying bullying and threatening behavior or whatever course, I'm a student in that course because I'm taking the course. But if I make one, then I'm a teacher. And if I scroll down, I have this area called unpublished courses. And these are courses that I've created, but I have not yet made them published where other people can view them. This was a nice feature that was new to Canvas, to be able to differentiate the courses like this, because a lot of people would work on their course and be like, my kids can't see it, it's not there. And it's because the course wasn't published. So this is nice because it really shows you if your course is visible or not. If you log into your Canvas now, you're going to see that you have courses for the 2021 school year. I caution you to work in those courses because, as we know, schedules are still fluid, right? And I believe someone even asked in the chat, when will transitional teachers get their teaching assignments? So I would not work in those 2021 courses yet because I think a lot of things could change. I'm here at Sebastian River High School, and I know all the guidance are in a meeting, and that just tells me that change might be coming. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to work, we're going to create a course that we work in. It's called a sandbox. It's a place for you to build and play. And then when it's the Friday before school starts and we know schedules are set, then you can just copy that work into that course, into the course with your students. Also, if you have been using Canvas in the past, you're probably freaking out because you have so many courses, especially at the secondary level. At the secondary level, some of the schools will schedule you a Gen Ed class, an ESE class, and an ESOL class. So if you teach 6 classes and each class has 3 different types of students, you potentially could have 18 Canvas courses. In the past, we have combined all of those courses for you into one course card, so you had them all living together. Right now, they're separated out because we went with a new way to integrate Canvas and Focus, which everybody's been asking for. And of course, sometimes things are a give and take. So we're still working on Canvas to work out the kinks. We are going to work on combining those classes. And if we can't do it at the district level, we are going to show you how to do it. And it's just a couple clicks. It'll be a simple training that we will incorporate with the how to connect your Canvas gradebook to your Focus gradebook. So no more having to download and import. It's going to be what we call a grade passback. So when you do it in Canvas, it will show up in focus. And cross our fingers, it will go smoothly and it will be phenomenal, but that's a whole nother day. But I know some of you out there have been with us for a while and you've been wanting that. So just know it's coming. We still have 2.5 weeks before kids start. So we will get that training and that information out to you, I promise. All right. So if looking at our dashboard, again, this is published and unpublished courses. Over here on the right, I have a list of to-dos. And so these to-dos could be things that I need to do as a teacher or things I need to do as a student. And I can sit here and close these, and it says this item will reappear when a new submission is made. So that means that was a teacher to do. And I'm like, and it's to let you know you have things you need to grade. And if you click on it accidentally, like I just did, it will actually open it up. I'm going to hit back. And I'm going to go back to the close, right? And so it will go away until another student does a submission, and then it's going to pop back up on my to-do. So you can clear those out. If you're a checklister and you like to get those things checked off, you can click through your to-dos, and that will tell you what you still need to grade or give comment or read from a teacher standpoint. Coming up, if you are a student or a teacher and you have things that have due dates, so assignments and quizzes and discussions, that's going to show up for the next 5 days in your coming up list. And then recent feedback, if you are a student and you give feedback on a student's assignment, that's going to pop up there. And if a student responds to your feedback, then you as the teacher would have that recent feedback. And then you have start a new course, which is very important. We're going to be using that today. Everyone should have the start a new course button because it's only available for teachers. If you don't have a start a new course button, it's probably because you don't have a course yet where you're a teacher in. And that's probably because you don't have a schedule and focus yet. So if you want to throw that in the chat, Michelle, you could make a sandbox course and add them to it as a teacher, and that will then give them either a sandbox course or that start a new course button. There shouldn't be many of you though. And then view grades, that's going to be, I'm a student obviously in courses, so this is going to be the courses I'm taking and the courses I'm teaching, right? So that's what that view grades button is. All right, so that's your dashboard. That's your landing page. And over here on the left-hand side, we have the global navigation. And so what you're probably seeing is account, dashboard, courses, groups, calendar, inbox, commons, studio, help. And we're going to run through those today and kind of go over them and understand what each one of them does. So the first thing we're going to click on is account. So in account, we're not really using these bottom two, QR for mobile login and my badges. Shared content. You can now send stuff to other users. So if I have a quiz and I'm talking to another 10th grade teacher and she would love to have my quiz, I can send that quiz to her. So if someone shares content with you, this is the screen that's going to show up in. E-portfolios, we don't have a lot of people using these, but an e-portfolio is a place for the students. The portfolio belongs to the students. It does not belong to the teacher and it does not belong to the class. So if you had students who maybe needed to keep records of their work for 2 or 3 years, this is something that you could do. You could create this My ePortfolio so that it can carry through with them through their their 10th, 11th, 12th grade years, as their proof of record. And then we're going to click on settings. And settings is important because you'll see that I have my ways to log in. So yours should be your username and password. And then we have web services. So, if you use a Google Drive, you could connect that. And then these are the approved integrations that I have within all of my Canvas courses. And then here are some feature options. So if I want it to underline links, so I know they're links, I can turn that on. There it goes. Whoops. I hate that course setup tutorial because by now I know it. So I turned that off. Use semicolons to separate fields and compatible spreadsheet exports. Not a lot of stuff here, but mainly the links. The celebration animation. So that's the confetti. When they submit an assignment, now they get confetti, but you could actually go in and turn that off, which I don't know why you would want to do that. Don't be a party pooper. Don't turn off the confetti. The kids love it. And then we have high contrast UI. So if you, for whatever reason, need to use the high contrast user interface, you can turn that on there. Okay. And then over here on the right-hand side, this is very important, we have this ways to contact. And what should be in here and starred is your work email. But you can add other contact types. So if I add a contact, I can add another email and I can add a cell phone. So for me, when we were home fourth quarter, I was helping with a science course. And because I was so busy, I needed to know when students submitted work so I could grade it. So I added my cell phone number and I set up my notifications, and I was actually getting those notifications on my cell phone. So we're going to talk about profile and notifications, and I'm going to give you guys some time to work. So make sure that you come over here if you want, and you add your cell phone number and a personal email if you want, so you can also get your notifications those two ways. All right, and that's just by clicking that plus contact method. Then we have the files button. And this is just going to be all the files you have loaded into all of your Canvas courses. So we don't really do anything there. And then we have the profile button. And what I would really like is for everyone to make sure they put a picture here. That's one of the top 10 things to do when teaching virtually, is to make sure that you have a profile picture. And then notifications. And with notifications, you have 4 options. Notify me right away, send a daily summary, send a weekly summary, do not send me anything. And you will see that I have my work email, I have my cell phone, and then I have push notifications. All right. So I can go through here. I'm not a student, so I don't need due date, grading policies, course content, files, announcement created by you. See, I don't need all of this stuff. But you know what I do need? I do need a submission comment. So when a student submits a comment, I need to know right away so that I can reply to it. Maybe you want to get notified for all their submissions. And you're going to do this for just a couple days and then you're going to be done with it. So maybe you just want to do a daily summary, right? So you'll get an email once a day that tells you these are all the students and what they submitted. And here, right, this notification type's not supported by your cell phone, but a couple things are announcements, grading, right? You can come down. Pretty much that's it. So include scores when learning about grades. If your email is an institution email, this means sensitive content will be sent outside the institution. And I'm going to turn the grading on because I want to know, right? And so discussion, right? I want to know when a student does a discussion post because I need to grade that. And I need to know immediately if I'm added to a conversation or if I get a conversation message. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 5 minutes underneath your account profile to do 3 things. In settings, you need to add any additional contacts that you want. Under profile, you're giving yourself a picture. And then I want you to go through and I want you to customize your notifications, which you can change at any time if you want.
Carrie, I have my hand up. Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yes, can I put my Cisco Jabber phone number under the connections, like ways to contact, instead of the cell?
So the ways to contact is how Canvas can send you a text message.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Okay. Thank you.
Carrie?
Yes, go ahead.
Carrie, we have our school email address there, so we're adding a personal email address. Is that correct?
Only if you want.
Only if I want. Okay. And then add the contact method. I'm just going to put my cell because you just said they need to send a text.
Right.
Okay. All righty. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Crystal.
So I'm trying to add my phone number where you showed us, and maybe I'm in the wrong spot because it's telling me that I need to put my email address and then get a code. Am I doing this in the wrong spot? Because the code isn't coming through.
So
I was putting my phone in where it says other contacts. Is that the right spot?
yes, and you clicked this add contact method.
Yep. And then it shows up text, and I have my cell number there, and then, oh, you know what? Oh, there we go. Never mind. I saw the carrier, and I didn't
Awesome.
change that. Okay,
Okay.
sorry, thanks. So, Carrie, I have Jeff Trevisol stating that his code is not being sent either, as
So it
well
might
as
be
Jessica Cantlin.
might be a little delay. I mean, the code might not be immediate.
Sorry. I'll just ask this. Is the code being sent through a text or an email?
It should be sent through a text.
Okay. All righty. So I'll just wait patiently. Okay. Thank you again.
So your contact method is not what is viewable by parents or students. They're only going to see what you post. The contact method is for Canvas to send you notifications. So if you put that cell phone number in there, no, they're not going to be able to see it.
So, Carrie, and I'm sorry, I may have missed this. Jackie Jones mentioned that she doesn't have anything on her Canvas page except the summer things. And she can't find the setting to go back and make changes.
All right, Jackie, so this should look like your Canvas course, correct? You might need to unmute, Jackie. Oh, that's right, you don't have a microphone. If I scroll down, here's the courses for this year. These are those unpublished ones I was talking about. And then over here on the left-hand side, that first icon says account. And that's where you have your notifications, your profile, and your settings. See that? And you click a contact method. Okay?
So Jody Brown is asking, how do I change my name in my profile?
Jody Brown would have to know someone who knows how to go into Canvas and change it for him. If only he knew someone.
If only maybe that person brought gifts, right?
Email me. I'll fix it.
Okay, thank you.
Still haven't gotten the text. So I know when we do stuff like this in Office 365, if they get too many requests simultaneously, we got to move on. Sorry. I do know that they'll think they're being spammed. And so sometimes it takes a little bit to come through. So we'll go ahead and continue with the training. If you guys get a text with the code, will you just pop it in the chat so we know that it is working. But so anyhow, this is one of those things, even if you didn't have enough time today, or if you're having problems with Canvas loading, just make note that this is something you're going to want to sit down and do. Okay, this will make your life easier, whether it's the cell phone notifications. You definitely want to get that profile picture in, and you definitely want to go through and customize your notifications. And if you find you're not getting enough or you're getting too many, you can go in and adjust it. No big deal. Okay. All right, so the next thing I want us to do is so after account up top, and we already talked about the dashboard. We did that. The next one is this button called courses. So I'm going to click on courses, and I get a little pop out. And these are all the courses that I have on my dashboard. They're favorited. Okay, kind of like you have your favorites across the top in your toolbar. These are my favorited courses, but I also have a link that says all courses. So when I click on all courses, I have a whole lot more courses active than I have on my dashboard. See all these? But the only ones that show up on my dashboard are the ones where I click the little orange star. All right, because those are the ones that I'm using. Now let's say I'm about to do a training on the tech shootout. So I want the tech shootout on my dashboard. I click the little orange star. I go to my dashboard. And now it's here. And then I can hit the three dots and I can click move, and I can move it around, or I can unfavorite it and it goes away. It's not away forever. It's still here in my all courses. It's just not a favorite, so it's not going to show up on that dashboard, right? So, and I mean, I turn my favorites on and off all the time. When I'm using something, it's on. When I'm not using it, I turn it off. I don't like mine to be busy like that. And then you'll notice that it changes from white to gray. These are published in the white. All the ones in the gray are not. So again, you can favorite and unfavorite published courses. So yesterday I made a whole bunch of these middle school coding courses for people. They're not published, but I don't need them on my dashboard. But maybe I want just the main one, right? So I can favorite that one, even though it's not published. And then if I clicked it on accident, I click it again and turn it off. There's no save button. It's all auto. And then if I scroll down, I have past enrollments. These are all of your courses from previous years. We don't delete anything. What we do is we conclude it. That closes it for the students. The students can't go back in and submit work, and it closes it for the teachers so that you're not accidentally working in it or sending students emails or messages. The course is closed, but you can still access everything. So you can, if you go scroll down, here's some of my, they're in alphabetical, chronological order, not chronological, alphabetical order. But if I keep scrolling, these are all my manually made ones, but I will eventually get to the courses where I was teaching, right? So this is, I think, like 2014. And so if I clicked on this, I would still have access to all of those lessons or all of, that information. And you can still copy anything from a past course into a current course. And if I keep scrolling, here we go. So here's my 2014 classes, and here's a 2020 year. So, and that's how you can tell what year they're from. So all of your past years, everything that has ended, here's 2017. They're all still going to be there. Okay. So we're going to make a new course today. You have two ways you can do that. Here at the very top, I'm at the top of all courses. You can hit this plus course button, but you also have the button from the dashboard. Over here on the right hand side, you should have a button that says start a new course. And depending, if you have a bunch of stuff in your coming up and your feedback, then your start a new course might be way down here. But mine's at the top, so I'm going to click start a new course. And then you can give it a name. So I'm going to call it Back to School Training. You can call it Playing Around 2020 or August 2020 or whatever you want. Call it anything you want. You can give it a nickname. So I'm going to do BTS for Back to School. And then content license, just leave it default to private. But you can make the course public. And what we mean by that is here in ClassLink, we have this digital student resource. We don't have all 15,000 students in the district signed up for this course. What we've done is we've made the course public. That means anyone with this link, wherever I put this link, anyone can see it. They can't see the student work. They can't see student names, but they can see the content. So I've started doing that just by default. When I make a course, I make the course publicly visible. That way, if I need to send it to a parent, I can just grab this link and forward it to a parent so that the parents can see everything. So the parents don't have to make an account. So the parents don't have to log in through ClassLink. Like if I need to shoot the parent a page so the parent can see, today's homework or, week 3's activity list, they can just see it. So I'm going to check that box and then click Create Course. All right, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to get that done.
Carrie, it's Lisa again. If I made a sandbox course this summer, can I move that content into the one we're doing today?
Absolutely.
Good, thank you.
So Carrie, just so you know, people are getting their codes right now.
Yay! I'm so glad Canvas didn't make a liar out of me.
Carrie, I have the content license on private and then in parentheses copyrighted, but I do not have that little box to check off that you mentioned.
Okay. Once you make the course, I will show you guys how to do that a different way.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know.
Okay. You're welcome.
All right. I just love that. That is just my favorite timer ever. Okay, so once you make your sandbox course, it opens you up into this blank module. So this is just a blank course, but I want to go over a couple things. Published or unpublished doesn't matter because there's nobody in it. The only reason you need to publish is if there are people loaded into the course and you want them to see it. But if you like the green instead of the red, I'm going to click on assignment list, choose and publish, and then at least I'll have a green button because I like that better than red buttons. All right. If I scroll down to settings in the course, this right here is how you put an image on your course. So if you look at my dashboard, and you will see that some of mine have really pretty graphics, right? That's where that comes from. So see how this one's blank? So I go down to settings and I click choose image, and you can now add GIFs also. So when I click upload image, I can pick anything out of my camera roll and make that my course card. Now it has to be sized right. So see how this isn't the whole picture, it's cutting it off on the top? That's because it's not sized correctly. It needs to be more of like a thumbnail size. I do have, let's see what's in my downloads. Oh, here we go. So that's how you put that image right there. Now you guys can't change a name or a course code. And we have that because the ones that are preloaded for you by the district, if you change the name or the course code, you won't get that automatic data. So it won't move the students in and out for you automatically. So you don't ever want to change those. Yours is going to be probably default term. And then you have your start and your end date. And of course, this doesn't matter if there's no kids in the course. And then we keep scrolling down, and right here where it says visibility, for those of you who didn't have that option when you made it, yours probably says course. You can change that visibility to public. And that is what will allow you to grab this URL with the numbers at the end and send that to people so they can see your course. If I keep scrolling down, I also get this button with more options. And so one of the things, you have this let students self-enroll by sharing with them a secret URL or code. If you're doing any kind of, let's say, extracurricular group, maybe you're, the Girls Who Run coach, or maybe you're doing student council or National Junior Honor Society, you can create a Canvas course for those kids. And if you check this box, I think I have to click save first. When you check that box and click save, it's going to give you this link right here. And you can send them that link and it will let them enroll themselves into your course. So you don't have to sit there and add them one by one. So that's nice. And you can turn it off and on, okay? And then they have some other choices here. When we do the template this afternoon, all these choices are going to be done for you in that template. But I like to go over them so you know what they are and where they're located. Let students attach files to discussions. I usually start the school year with that off. And then as my students learn my rules, I turn it on. Just because you don't, well, I mean, you never know what the kids are going to say or post, but sometimes files is a little risky. I also don't let my students create discussion topics because they will undoubtedly make a discussion topic of who's hot and who's not and hurt somebody's feelings. Let students edit or delete their own discussion posts. So this is another one of those classroom management questions. If a student posts something inappropriate and they have that moment of guilt after they hit post, you might want to be able to allow them to delete it or edit it. But at the same time, You might want to not allow them to delete it because you need to capture it. So you really kind of have to know your clientele to know if whether you want this on or off. I usually start with it on, and I tell my students that, every keystroke is recorded. Anything you write. So don't write that, you can't stand Miss Walsh, she's so boring, because you're not going to be able to delete it, and I'm going to have proof of it. Okay? And then let students organize their own groups. I also turn that off because, again, I don't want my students making groups for who's popular and who's not and putting each other in groups. I hide the totals in the Canvas gradebook, and I hide the grade distribution graphs because Canvas is where their digital grades are, but Focus is where their actual grade book is. So I want them to be able to see the quiz they got on, the grade they got on quiz 1 and the grade they got on their homework assignment, but I don't want them to see an overall grade because Canvas might not be all of their grades. So they should be going to Focus. We should still be teaching them to go to Focus to look at their grades. So that's why I click that. And then I disable comments on announcements just because my announcements go to everyone. They go to parents and admin, and I don't need a kid making an inappropriate comment on an announcement. So I always go through those options for each of my classes before I start. And again, all of those options, if you choose to go with the template that we're going to do this afternoon, all those options are already done for you. And then just make sure you click Update Course Details. Michelle, do I have any questions so far?
We did have some of why would, like, if their class is public, can they see student work?
No.
So that's what, thank you.
Yes. No, if the course is public, they can't see who's enrolled and they can't see the student work. They don't have access to that. And that's the same as like a parent observer. A parent observer can't like go into the discussions and see what the students are saying. And they can't, go into the, assignments and see everyone's submissions. They can only see like the content pages, the presentation of material by the teacher. Okay. Next thing I want to show over on the right hand side, there's a couple of things you're going to use. The first one is student view. So this one is really great when you start putting content in and you want to see, what do my kids see? If you click on that student view, this is what the student's going to see, right? So this is the home page. This is what's over here on the side. We don't really have anything in here yet. But you can, and then I'm going to click Leave Student View. So you can see if your module's published, you can take the quiz, you can do the homework assignment and submit it. So you can walk through all the steps as a kid. What's also great about using that student view, one of the trainings you're going to get is Canvas Studio where you can record your screen. But let's say you needed to make a tutorial for your kids on how to submit an assignment. Click on Student View, and then you go through the assignment steps and record it for the kids. So that's one of the things we really started to see was helpful fourth quarter, was teachers making those instructional videos. You guys have gotten them from us. We've made instructional videos for you on how to do things on Canvas. We've made videos on how to do things in Focus. So just think that now, you're going to start doing that for the kids. Here's a video on how to submit today's work. Here's a video on how to get to Flipgrid and record your video. And then we have import course content. So this is what Lisa was asking. Lisa was saying, if I have done a bunch of work in another course, can I put it in here? And yes, you can. So you're going to click this import course content. And then what am I going to be doing? Okay, so you have all these, a QDI file, a D2L export, a common cartridge package. You don't need to know any of that. Yours is always the first choice. Copy a Canvas course. If it's any of these other ones, you will probably have your digital integration specialist involved, and we'll be there to help, okay? You are just copying a course, and it says, what's the course name? And see how I have include completed courses? So if I needed to pick up my course from last year, here they all show up. So here's my course from 2014, right? Here is, well, it just keeps going and going. It's ridiculous. But, here's my CAR PD course. So any previous course is going to be listed. So I'm going to say Sandbox because I should still have a Sandbox course. Here we go. So see, I can transfer any of this stuff into them. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do is I want to show off the new template. So let's do the pretty one, elementary transitional template. So I'm going to click that, and all content or specific content. Well, I'm going to do all because I just want to copy everything over, and I'm going to click import. And then what's going to happen is it's going to say it's queued, and then it's going to say it's transferring the data, and then it's going to say running. I'll give it just a second. All right, so that fast, it's done. Now it does say I have an issue, so I'm going to click one issue, and it's going to say that on a page I have a missing link. So if I click that, that means somewhere on here one of these links doesn't exist. So let me open each one. Nope, that link works. That link works. Oh, the class discussion link was bad. So there's not a class discussion here. So, and then when I go back to home, here it is. So this is that course that I loaded, that I copied from another course. So see how it's made my home page, and it took over all of my settings. It changed my course card. It changed my visibility over to course. And it did my options. So when you transfer over, all of those settings transfer with it when you copy a Canvas course. And so this is one of those templates that I'm going to be showing you in the afternoon training today. So if you love this, and also see how everything's already pre-linked. So even if we go to lessons, now all of your modules are here for you. So this is the awesome sauce of pre-made templates because we've already put so much in for you. So no longer are you going to have to work out of literally a blank canvas. We're giving you somewhere to start so that it's more of an edit and change rather than I just have a whole bunch of blank pages in front of me. What do I do with it? So again, that was about creating your sandbox, doing your settings, and what do you do with some of these options over here?
So Carrie, a couple people are asking if you could show those steps again, or if you're going to show those again this afternoon. But I know we are recording the session, so I wanted you to.
Absolutely. So from the dashboard, I'm going to go into the sandbox course that I made, right? So this was a blank Canvas course, and I went to settings, and then I went to, on the right-hand side, import course content. And then what I was doing was the first option, which is copy a Canvas course. And then you start typing the name of the course you want to copy from. So, if it was last year's, science course, or maybe it was Conduct 2, that's sounding familiar to people, right? You click that, 2020 full year, this tells me it was last year. And then I'm going to click all content and import. right, let's see. All right, so going back into this, now that I'm in this course, you have a global navigation and you have a course navigation. So within the course, you have multiple things. You have announcements. This is where you can send announcements to all of your students, right? This is like a radio blast. Then you have modules, and modules are essentially the file folders that you will use to teach your digital classroom with. We're going to go over the modules some more in templates, and then one of the days, let me go back to the digital teacher resource and look at our schedule under back to school. So Friday, is this, I don't remember if that's Michelle or Becky, is doing a deep dive on modules. All right, so that's 9 to 11 on Friday. We do have it recorded. We have already done this training before. So if you, for whatever reason, can't attend, it is available in the recordings already. But it's a deep dive into modules, which is going to talk to you about how to organize your classroom and kind of how to, you know, set up and do the structure. Okay. Then we have quizzes. Quizzes you make and the students take right here in Canvas. If you do have an external quiz program like ExamView, again, in the digital teacher resource, there were instructions on how to upload those. But the great thing about quizzes is that Canvas grades them for you. And then there are assignments. Assignments are the things that the students are going to complete for a grade, whether it's a group discussion, maybe it's a quiz, but it can also be, you know, writing a paper, completing a worksheet, submitting a graphic, anything like that. Discussions, and I think discussions are going to be very, very important for your transitional remote students because it allows for that peer interaction. I think that's going to be a big key to utilize discussions in your classroom. So the first one we have in the template that is pinned to the top is the staying connected. And this afternoon I'll talk to you more about that, but there are instructions for the parents and the students that is kind of a Q&A discussion. It's where people can ask questions, chit chat, anything like that. But you can see here we have like a group discussion, a Tuesday discussion, a Thursday discussion, you know, to keep those students interacting and talking to each other. Just like you would have them turn around and do a think, pair, share in class, you know, they should also be doing that digitally. Conferences is going to be discussed this afternoon. There's two different ways to do conferences, both using Canvas conferences and Teams meetings. So again, we will be showing you how to do that. People are going to be the people that are in your course. So the courses that come to you from the district, they're going to be pre-populated with all of your students. However, sometimes you need to add other people into your courses. Maybe you have a support facilitation teacher. Maybe you have an administrator who needs to watch what you're doing. You can add these people yourself. So go to Plus People, and you can add them by their email address, their login ID, or their teacher ID number. Most of us know people's email address. So I can do michelle.adrian@indianriverschools.org. And then I have to decide what role am I going to give Michelle. If I want Michelle, I'm really not going to make an adult a student. But if Michelle is co-teaching with me, I can make her a teacher, right? That means she has full edit rights. So you have to know and trust the person that you give teacher rights to, because they can wipe out everything if they so wish. Yes, we can probably get it back for you, but that's not the point. And then this one down here administrator / support facilitation. Administrator is not a Canvas administrator. This means like a school site administrator, your administrator. If your administrator needs to watch your course, or if you have a support facilitation teacher that needs to come in and help students, this is the role you want to give them. It allows them to see everything. It allows them to see student work, but it does not allow them to edit. All right. And then I'm going to click next. It's going to say, are you adding Michelle Adrian? Yes, I am. Add users. And now Michelle just got an invitation. She got an invitation in her email. And when she goes into her Canvas dashboard, she's going to have that green invitation link at the top. Okay. So you can add your own people, and you can add more than one person, however many you want to add. Pages. Think of pages as content. So you have a home page, right? This is your landing page. But then within that landing page, you have a whole bunch of other little pages, little places for content. And again, that training, that deep dive is tomorrow morning. So the rich content editor, this is pages. This is putting that content and how to put the content onto your pages. That deep dive is tomorrow. Again, files will just kind of happen naturally as you add things on your pages. They live here in your files. We don't use syllabus. We don't use outcomes. Rubrics. Michelle is going to be talking to you about rubrics on Friday afternoon. So that is going to be then. Collaborations we're not really using yet, but this would be students collaborating on a document together, and you'd be creating it using Office 365. Of course, grades is their grade book. This is where the students come to see how they're doing on their assignments. And then again, settings. And settings will tell you how many students are in the course, how many teachers, how many of each role. And you can also look at your course statistics. So this is going to tell you things like how many discussions do you have, how many assignments, how many students have turned them in, all that great stuff. Who's recently logged in. So that's the navigation within a course. Do I have any questions, Michelle or Terry?
No, we've answered them.
All right, thanks. So going back, so that's a course, right? We now have that sandbox course that we made. So let's keep going through the global navigation. We have a couple things to look at here. We looked at courses, right? So now we have groups. So groups are groups that you have been added into. All right, so you guys probably won't be using groups because you're not students, you're teachers, right? But these were 2 trainings I did where I was in a group. Then we have the calendar. And we're really going to talk about the calendar more when we talk about conferences and doing assignments. But the calendar, if you see here, here are all of my different Canvas courses. So every single one has a different color. So as things are loaded onto my calendars, let's see if I have any from last year. No, because my course is concluded. Oh, here we go. So as things get loaded onto my calendar, they're going to show up here. But the calendar belongs to the individual. That means the calendar belongs to the student. So the only way to put something on a calendar is for you to give it a due date. And then that is going to put it on the student's calendar. Inbox. Canvas has its own messaging system. So it's just like email, but it's within Canvas. So you can have your students email, your district email, but you can also have them just message you in Canvas. And I like this because when I come into Canvas, I'll have a little 3 or a little 4 here, and that tells me, you know, I have messages from students I need to reply. You can also, right here, I have the Compose New Message button. I can email an entire course. So if it's favorited, I can go here to I have my more courses, my favorite courses. Let's do let's do the digital teacher resources, a lot of them. So now I can, type in a name. Michelle Adrian is in that course, so I can pick her. But I can also hit the address book, and there's 424 people in this course. I can click on teachers, and I can pick which teacher I want to email. I can also click all teachers, and I can also go to students. And then I would have my different class periods here, but obviously I don't have class periods. So if I wanted to pick first period, I could email everyone in my first period. I can pick all 417 kids, or I can pick just a few specific students. And then the subject. And I like to send mine as an individual message to each recipient because that prevents reply all. Yay, no reply all. So the other thing, so this you have to type. It's very basic. You can't put links. You could type it out so that they could copy and paste it. But unfortunately, it doesn't have that rich content editor. But what you can do is you can attach a document. So if you needed to attach a Word document or a PDF with instructions and links, you could. You can also attach a video, both a video that you've made or a video that you record live right here. So I could record a welcome message for my kids. Hey, how you doing? I could also have done a screencast, maybe of instructions, and I can upload that video. So if I need to, do a screencasting of how to submit an assignment or what I'm looking for, and then email that to everyone in their Canvas inbox so they kind of know what I'm talking about. So that's really the power of using the Canvas inbox. We're going to skip Commons for a second, go down to Studio. Canvas Studio is your media library. So anything that you record or create will live here and can be dropped into any of your Canvas courses. You can also turn the videos into quizzes. Okay. We have a training for Canvas Studio tomorrow, 1 to 3. So that's a really powerful training. If you can't, please try to make it. But if you can't make it, we do have it recorded, both from the spring and from the summer. But as a transitional/remote teacher, this is going to be one of your most powerful tools. So please make sure you understand Studio and how that works. And then coming back up here to Commons. Commons is the Canvas library. So anyone can share to Commons. If you have created a fantastic lesson and you want to share it with the Canvas community, please click Share to Commons and share it. So that is what you're going to find here in this library. There's going to be stuff from all kinds of different people and stuff from the district. And you will see the first 3 are the templates that we're going to be using in the afternoon because I marked them as featured. So they're going to be the first 3 things that you see. But then if you scroll down, it's just very general. Sometimes you get a whole course. Sometimes it's a document. Sometimes it's just a discussion post. Look at this netiquette. How nice is that? Sometimes it's a whole module. So people can share anything they want to the Canvas Commons. So maybe I'm going to start with classroom norms. So I type that in. Here's an assignment and here's a quiz. So I would really like to see what this class behavior survey for the start of the quarter is, right? Now I did see somewhere it said that it was undergraduate. So this might be, a little high. But if I get a little preview, if I like it, I can click the import download button, and here are all of my Canvas courses. And I'm like, oh, where is that back to school? Right here. I click my course. This is my sandbox course. And I scroll to the bottom and I click import. And now that quiz is going to get dropped into that course for me. So I also like this one because it says it starts at 7th grade. And this is collaborate to develop class communication norms. So that might be a really good, Unity Week activity. So I'm going to also put that into my back to school training so I can look at it a little later. And if I see something I love, I can click add it to my favorites, because here under favorites, these are just the things I've seen that I really like. Okay. And let me go back to my search. So you can search anything. So let's say I always use the monkey's paw because I was an English teacher. So let's say I'm going to be teaching the monkey's paw. Well, here's some modules. Here's a quiz. Another quiz, modules, quiz. Here's an assignment. Oh, here's a video comparison. Here's some pre-storyboard questions. Now that sounds like something I might use. So I want to click on it. I'm going to preview it. Not bad. Let me go ahead and put it in my back to school so I can look at it a little closer and decide if that's something I want to use at the beginning of the year. And then I just hit the back button, and I'm going to keep going. Vocab quiz, I might could use that. Oh, escape room. That's got to be fun. So I don't know exactly what that is, but I'm going to put it in my sandbox course just so I can go back and look at it later. So I think you guys are getting the idea. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Go ahead and go into comments and do some searching and add a couple things to your sandbox course so you can look at them later. So when you're in Commons, and you click filter, you will see right here, these show you the different icons. So the book means courses, the squares are modules, the paper and pencils assignments, the rocket is a quiz because you launch a quiz, the speech bubbles are discussions, just the page document is just a content page. Then you have multiple documents. The play button is a video, sound is audio, and then a picture is just an image. So you can pick your grade levels. So if I'm a primary teacher. I'm going to pick K1, 2. And then I might say I only want to look at assignments. Okay, and then of course I'm going to take this out and I'm going to do counting. So now I'm getting counting assignments for K1, 2. And you can see every single one is an assignment. That's scary. So sometimes you will see people didn't do specific grades. They just put all grades, so that's not really going to work, but it will at least help slim it down. Another thing is to look and see how many people have downloaded it. So if it's got a lot of downloads, this one's 153 versus 2. So this seems to be something that like a lot of people use. You can also do sort it by your most relevant, your latest, most favorited, or most downloaded. So when I'm looking for a resource to share with students, I like to sort by most downloaded, because now I'm talking about, this one has 700 questions. That might be an entire district and everybody had to use it, but that also tells you it's probably a pretty good resource. Does anybody want to ask any questions about Canvas comments and searching? And while I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to unmute, I just want to say, big thank you to Becky, Michelle, and Terry for moderating over there in the chat. You guys are you're killing it over there, so thank you. Yes, Allison makes a great point. One of the things we try to do, you can search by tags. And so what we've started doing is we've been starting to try to tag our stuff. So if you do hashtag SDIRC, you will see a lot of stuff coming from just the district. So here's a lot of stuff for those of you that were looking for my templates if they weren't showing up in your featured. If you do hashtag SDIRC, everything from the district is there. And I think we've also been calling it hashtag template. All right, so there's going to be a lot of stuff in there. Okay, so back to Canvas. The last button we have to talk about is the help button. So if you click on the help button, little lost, try here first. You do have search the Canvas guides. We also have the video conferencing guides for remote classrooms. And then if you get into asking the community, you'll start to see some, there's a lot of community forums in there where people talk about, how they're using things, and you can search questions and stuff. They also have the training services portal and the COVID-19 Canvas resources. So first, let's open up the video conferencing guides. And so this is just going to take you through, so big blue button is Canvas conferences, and LTI web conferences, that's going to be your Microsoft Teams down here. And so this will just kind of shows you where all those documentations are with your instructions and everything. So if you came down here to Microsoft Teams, there's a link right here for Microsoft Teams meetings and Canvas and everything. Now you don't have to do the installation because that's all set up, but these usage links, if you can't make it to the conferences training, scroll down here to usage. And so this is going to give you those step-by-step icons and everything you need to do and, how to set it up. The next thing we have is the training services portal. Comes in here like this, training portal, you authorize. And these are a bunch of work at your own pace trainings that is available to us. It's part of our Canvas membership. So here, this first one is preparing to launch. Quickly move your course content from on-the-ground delivery to distance learning. So you can enroll into that and take that self-paced course. So all of these are available to you for free. They also have the training on new quizzes, on the apps. If you want to learn about the apps, they have video. So these are all self-paced trainings that you can go through and have access to. And then we also have the COVID-19 Canvas resources. And it says for admins, but there's a whole bunch of stuff here that you can look at. That's, a lot of interesting information that you might want to look at. Somebody have a question?
Yes, I'm sorry, Carrie. So there may be some confusion because when we were doing the IPP and we were talking about conferencing with children, so Jessica asks, can we use the Teams site with kids now? I'm sorry, not Teams, but I'm sorry, yes. So can we use Teams with kids now? So that might be a question that some other people have.
So we were never told we couldn't use Teams. What we were told was that students had to have their cameras off. Also, Canvas Conferences has a concurrent conference limit. So we had in the spring, we split it up and asked elementary to use Canvas Conferences because you could control their cameras. And we didn't think we'd have as many concurrent. And we asked secondary to use Microsoft Teams. We will be showing you both ways when we do the Canvas Conferences training, but I believe most people are going to go the Microsoft Teams route, mainly because you will not have to worry about access issues. We did have a couple people call the hotline and say that they couldn't get on to Canvas Conferences, and we think it was because too many concurrent conferences were happening at once. You won't have that issue with Microsoft Teams. However, with Microsoft Teams, you will have to create norms with the students regarding the cameras, but I do not know what the district directive is regarding cameras on or off.
Thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome. All right, so let's go into our sandbox course. So that's global navigation for you guys. Your account, dashboard, how to get to all your old courses, your calendar, your inbox, Commons, which is your resources, Studio, which is your video library, and help. So let's go back into the sandbox course that we made and talk about a couple things there. Again, right here we have the published and unpublished buttons. So if you have it published and you want to turn it off, you just click that unpublished button and it turns it red. That's how you know. I can turn it right back on. So you can turn on and off student access. And then we also have the choose a home page. So when I'm in pages, let me go to my pages. Here are all the pages in my course. And then down here where the one that I labeled homepage, it has this little button that says front page. So I click these 3 dots. And from those 3 dots, I click use as front page. So what, you can only have one front page, and that can be used as your home page. So whichever one you want to be the front page. So you set that first. Now I go back to home, and I can choose a home page. These are the things I can choose from. My home page can be my syllabus. That's really higher ed, not really what we do. We don't even teach the syllabus training. You can also do your assignments list. So some teachers like kids, when they click on Canvas course, it brings them right to their assignments. That's what you need to do. You can make your home page be your modules. And remember, your modules are your file folders. These are your lessons. And so you can have it set up where it brings them straight here. You can also make it be the activity stream, which is just kind of what's going on in the class. This isn't a good view. I don't recommend this. But what we really like is we like to see that landing page, very much like a website, where the students come to a home page. So that's why we choose Pages Front Page, and we create a home page for your Canvas course. So on this home page, what the students see is some kind of welcome graphic. And then here they can click on the teacher's contact, classroom information. Lessons is going to take them to modules. This is going to be their Teams meeting. This is going to be their help button. And then here's kind of a calendar for the week. So this is a landing page, right? And so from here, they can get to everything. If you're using OneNote, it'll take them out to OneNote. If you want them to go to Flipgrid, if you here are today's class links, whatever you want. But it's nice to have this home page, this landing page for the kids so that they know how to get to everything from here. Okay. Let's talk about navigation. So when we click on settings, we already talked about these settings, but you also have some tabs across the top. Sections, navigation, apps, and feature options. So if we click on navigation, it says drag and drop items to reorder them in the course navigation. So this is the order in which, the order of importance for my course, right? Home, announcements, modules, and then if they want to go to specific things, quizzes, assignments, discussions, and conferences. This is all my kids use in my class. So I drag it down here to disable anything that I don't want them to see. Or you can hit these 3 dots, click disable. So I turn all of this off. My kids don't need to see people. They don't need to see pages or files or syllabus or outcomes or rubrics or collaborations. They don't need to see any of this, right? And then I click save. And what that does is it really cleans up that navigation for my students. So as the teacher, I see all this stuff. But everything with the little line through the eyeball means they don't see it. If I click on student view, this is what my kids see. Definitely much more manageable for my students, right? And if every button takes them to where they need to go, then the only thing that I need to have over here is home, right? If I have those little guys and I don't need a whole bunch of buttons to confuse them, you can turn all those off. The nice thing about this, this is the template we're going to go over this afternoon. When I click contact info, here's the information about me as your teacher, but I have a button here that says return home. So it takes them right back to the home page. So if you have it set up like that, where they don't really, they just need to click the buttons, then you don't need to have this stuff over here. Now, sometimes it's nice for the parents or the older kids to kind of navigate. But you can clean that up. And then I'm going to leave student view. So I go back in as the teacher. Okay. And then apps, there are some external apps that you can integrate into your Canvas course. Most of these require paid subscriptions, right? But sometimes there's like if you use CK12 in your classroom, I know we have a couple of teachers that do. You can click on CK12, integrate it into your Canvas course, have your account. I think ABC Mouse works. I don't think you need to do the Flipgrid, but I think Flipgrid is here. And then the ones that are district textbooks, Discovery Ed, the new foreign language textbook, those are going to be done at the district level, so you don't have to do those. But, you know, if you pay for a class version of Pull Everywhere, you can make that connection here underneath apps. And then feature options. Most of the feature options we have turned on at the district level, but there's a couple you can choose from. The first one is posting grades. And again, we don't have those instructions ready for you yet, but that will be coming. And then Becky, when Becky does the rich content editor deep dive, she's going to talk about the old RCE versus the new one. And so if you like the new one, that's where you can turn that on, is here under feature options. And then we also have the elementary theming. You can turn that on. Now, what the elementary theming does is it changes the font in the interface, and it's almost like a Comic Sans font. And then it simplifies that navigation menu, which we had already kind of slimmed it down. But you can see now that I've changed over how the font is a little different for my little guys, and you might just like the different font. And then if, you know, even if you're secondary, see how it didn't change anything because I had already even less in my navigation than they had. So you can turn on that elementary theming if you like this little bit of different look, but that's pretty much all that does. And it would have taken some things out of your navigation, but we had already slimmed them down. So click the home button and there's that navigation. Michelle, do I have any questions?
Most of the questions have been about what they're expected, and I think Terry has pretty much answered them. Terry, maybe you want to address that globally just so that everybody can hear?
Absolutely. So good morning, guys. You know, we are definitely in uncharted waters and things are changing even by the moment. And so I know teachers could even apply for one of the virtual positions up until Monday afternoon. And here we are Wednesday morning. So I'm sure HR has been working their tails off trying to see which teachers are going to be filling which spots. And then, of course, looking at the numbers of what parents are going to be doing with sending their kid either to brick and mortar or if it's going to be virtual. So there are quite a few teachers that are still up in the air. My assumption, just because I've been in education for now 26 years, I'm assuming that they're going to continue to change as numbers shift a little bit. So your administrator is your first line of defense as far as information. So please make sure that you are reaching out to your principal. They have been in direct contact with Mr. Bass and HR, as well as Dr. Moore and Mr. Meyer. So they definitely have a plan. If for some reason that does not work and you have gone to your administrator, my next point would probably be HR. And, you know, there's even been like a couple descriptions, like our questions, like, what does my job look like? Well, I'm not sure an exact job description exists for that right now, but it's definitely worth asking. And of course, if I hear anything, I'm happy to share, but that's the most that I have at this point.
And a lot of their questions are, what does their day look like? And yes, we're not sure what your day looks like. We're just trying to, you know, we're showing you how to set up it. And if you have questions about, you know, we're here to answer your Canvas questions and how to set up your Canvas. We're not anymore have any other idea of how your day is set up either. So
the good news is we have 3 weeks of pre-planning not 4 days. And I think so many of us are used to having to be ready to rock and roll on Friday for orientation. We forget we still have 2 more weeks of this. And I think we'll start getting a lot of answers and seeing a clearer picture the closer it gets to the 24th. I'm going to answer, Michelle, can you drop the attendance and the feedback link in the chat, please? And I'm going to answer a couple questions that I saw. Someone asked where that elementary theming was. So you have to do it by course. So I'm going to go back into my course. And I'm going to click on settings in my course navigation. And then what comes up is course details, sections, navigation, apps, feature options. And under feature options, it's that last one, Canvas elementary theming. And it will say the elementary friendly theme, font, limited course navigation. The font update only applies to language that use the Latin alphabet. So there's that. And then another thing I wanted to show you guys, some people have started to notice the immersive reader that is on the page. So let me take us to a content page. So every page now where there's content has this button called Immersive Reader. This is from Office 365. It's automatically integrated into our Canvas. And when the students click it, you get this very simplified view of just text. And when I click the play button, so obviously the better your text is, right, at just being basic text, the easier it will be to read. Also, when you click on Immersive Reader, you can change the language. So if you, so here, your line focus, show 3 lines of text when reading, show 1 line of text when reading. Are you primary teachers getting excited? Picture dictionary. And then, of course, like, let's say, you have, this Japanese student who also needs that assistance. Whoops. Did I not change my language? Translate document. So, and of course, then I'll change it to Spanish. And of course, you have your Latin America, Mexico, or Spain. And it could translate the whole document. And then you can flip back and forth between the original and Spanish. So again, that is... turn off line focus. There we go. So that is the Immersive Reader. It's on every page where there's content. The students just click it and they do their, they do their own settings. But that's another good example of when you would need to make a video tutorial for your students, right? So maybe you want to show your littles how to turn on the Immersive Reader, change it to 1 line, slow down the reading so that they can track the reading. That's also nice when you can put, a PDF. You don't want it to be a picture because it won't read a picture. It reads text. But if you can copy and paste text into a content page, that Immersive Reader will read it and will read it for your kiddos. I'm just looking at the chat to see. So we're going to go ahead while you guys are making sure you do the attendance and the feedback, I answer all of your questions. Again, in the digital teacher resource, which you have the link in your class link. We do have the back to school button. Where did I go? Digital teacher resource. Back to school button. And then you have the link to the self-paced Canvas intro and another full 2-hour video if you didn't get enough today. And of course, today's Canvas training agenda. You can also find the attendance and the feedback link there. And we will be back again today at 1 o'clock, going to show you where those Canvas course templates are so that you can start loading them in and start working. And then we'll also be talking about Canvas conferences, the second half of that 2-hour training. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my screen sharing and answer some questions. If your attendance and your feedback are done and you're good for today, you guys can leave. Thank you very much for coming. Actually, if you will mix it up with those questions, go ahead and give me a GIF on how you're feeling about Canvas. Like, are you excited?
Not sure about the attendance. Do we need to put that in somewhere? Or are we automatically recorded? Uh-oh, can't hear you. Can't hear you now. Can't hear you.
It's Michelle's job to tell me
there
I'm
you go.
muted. You dropped the ball on that, Michelle.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was pasting the link.
There's an
a link in the
attendance
chat.
link. So please make sure you fill out the form on the attendance link. Even though
Okay, thanks.
yeah. So go ahead and drop any questions you have in the chat, and I will go over those. If you don't have any questions and you've done the attendance and the feedback, just share a GIF of how you're feeling about Canvas. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling nervous? Are you excited or scared? And then we're done for this morning, and we will be back at 1 o'clock to talk about templates and conferencing.
Where's the link? Can't find it.
The link is in the chat, and it's also in the main page on the digital teacher resources. So if you click in the middle of your page and click on
I
the
see
chat button, it's there.
Attendance link. Yeah, I see it. Thank you.
Lori, I'm glad you're excited. All right, so Tiffany's asking, someone asked how to change the icon preloaded with the template to your name here. Oh, so that's what we're doing at 1 o'clock, Tiffany. Are you coming back for that training? I'm going to show you how to do all that in the template training. Good. I'm sorry your mic's not working, Lori. Becky's feeling awesome. Amy, you're so funny. Yes, Alicia, we are all in this together. Oh, Anita, let me show you what I recommend to hide. Where's my, oh, there it is. Becky, you so funny. All right, so I'm going to go to settings in my course, and then under settings I'm going to click that third tab, navigation, and this is how I have it set up. Let me zoom out just a little bit more. I might make it too small. Essentially all I have turned on is home, announcements, modules, quizzes, assignments, discussions, conferences. That's all I have turned on, and I have everything else turned off. So, Lori, the next 3 days, 2 a day, is considered the transitional or remote teacher learning pathway. So if it's all stuff anybody can use. right? If we get sent home again, it's going to be stuff everybody's going to use. But, you know, if you have applied or are trying to get that transitional remote position, you know, I would definitely make sure that you're at the 9 and the 1 o'clock trainings the next 3 days. Aw, thanks, Tammy. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Allison, there's a lot of us in that boat. Michelle Gill's last name is Bruce.
Right. Carrie, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, when we did to create the new sandbox course, I mean, because I did courses last year, it didn't work. I couldn't, the thing you were showing on your screen wasn't showing up on my screen. And I do have a list of classes.
Okay.
So I could not start it, and I know I'm going to need it for this afternoon and other days.
This is Gail talking?
Yep, Gail Bruce.
I'm creating Gail's right now.
Oh, okay. Who am I speaking to?
That was Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
Okay. Should then I go back into that? Oh, okay.
Let me just log in and see what you're seeing.
Because, yeah, I have a ton of courses listed.
So Gail, right here, you have this start a new course button.
Right, and I did that earlier.
Okay.
When I hit it, it doesn't show both parts. She had an extra thing down there. That's all I was seeing.
Oh, that's okay. So
It's
once you're
there.
in-
It's just wait. Scroll down. It's way down at the bottom. She's got an unnamed course way down.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah, you just didn't name it. And I just created a Sandbox 2020. So if you just publish it, it'll come up to the top.
Oh, okay. So you hit a publish and then it will come to the top. So I have a practice.
Yeah, so Michelle made you this one right here.
Mhm.
Now I have another question.
Published it. I went ahead and published it, so it's up at the top now.
Oh, good. Thank you. They said I'm virtual. So what does that mean? Does that mean I'm transition or virtual? Should I take the other course that's for Ingenuity? Because I know nothing about that. Or just stick with the Canvas courses?
Terry?
Yeah, I was just thinking. So I'm wondering if you're option 2 or option 3.
That's what I'm wondering. She told me virtual, the attendance bill at the high school yesterday.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're using
one
it
of those-
interchangeably or not.
Right. And so I just want to make sure that we give you the right information. If
Correct.
you're going to be doing the option where they're on Edgenuity, of course, you could be monitoring probably a large group of students and then working with them. I mean, my personal philosophy is that none of the Canvas stuff is going to hurt you.
Well,
It
right,
can
because I
only
don't
help.
know.
But if you definitely do not know anything about Edgenuity, at
I
this
know
point,
nothing.
it wouldn't hurt you to go ahead and take a look at that.
Yeah, I signed up for that, and then I was going to do the one I was going to miss if I did that on next week. I think it was listed again or something. And whatever I was going to miss tomorrow morning, I believe it was tomorrow morning, I
Right.
would do then next week without work.
And that's fine. You know, we've got lots of offerings.
And
'cause
then
we
be
have
back
schools-
to Canvas for the rest of the ones.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because again, like Carrie said, you know, we could be sent home. I mean, anything could happen.
Right.
So I would just get clarification if they can give that to you as to which
one they're
virtual option
expecting.
you are. Right. If you're
Yeah, because he kept
transitional.
saying virtual, the guidance counselor, but they haven't finalized, and I have a ton of classes listed
Right.
under my Canvas.
So that may mean that you're looking at the Edgenuity platform, but I don't want to make that assumption by any
Yeah,
means.
I don't know either. So I
Yeah.
should contact them today. But
I
when I
would,
come
yeah.
back on after, I can, this afternoon one, now I've got it on there, so I'll be okay.
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
want you to be able to pick and choose so that you
And
can
some of the stuff I remember, but some of it was very new, so thank you on that. So I go off and go
course,
to
they're all recorded. They're all recorded and they'll be available. So if you have to, you know, for those of you who need to go to an iReady training or need to go to an Edgenuity training, you know, you can always come back when it's done The video has to process, so it takes a little while, but Michelle usually gets it up within 24 hours.
That's fine. And so now I go off to the digital teacher or to Frontline to do the thing? Digital teacher to do the feedback.
Michelle put the link, it's a Microsoft form. Michelle put the link in the chat. Or you can click on it from, if you go to the digital teacher resource and click back to school, you can get the link there also.
Okay,
And I
I
know,
don't
Gail,
see it in the link on the meeting chat. I don't see where
here,
it's
I'll
at.
do it again for you. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things too that Frontline is going to offer us is the opportunity for you to give the feedback directly from Frontline when you go to get your points. But because we're still ironing out some kinks
Right.
with Frontline, we're doing it this way as well.
Okay, thank you. I will go to mute, so I'm not taking away from other people. Thank you so much for the help.
You're welcome.
Carrie, I asked a question earlier, and this is going to look much different on a kindergarten, first grade level. Has anybody considered offering training specifically to those of us teaching those grades, rather than all of this general stuff?
So I would like to say in a perfect world, that will happen. I think the problem is there's still some gray area on what that looks like for kindergarten and first grade. So, Terry, can you make note that, the primary teachers are feeling like, they need a little bit more vision?
No, we need a lot. No, we need a lot more vision. I'm sorry. We need a lot more vision. This is very, very stressful. We're all feeling it. We have no directions. I'm a very proactive person. I have sent out a plethora of emails. I'm not getting responses, and school is coming quickly. And I'm a person who needs to be prepared and understand what I'm doing so I can do what is best for these students. And I don't feel at this point that I'm in any position to do what's best for these students.
I hear you.
So Dory, I'm assuming that you're doing option 2 or 3. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. I can definitely bring that to Dr. Lord's attention as we plan more professional development sessions.
And there is no contact people, Terry. Like I said, I have gone all the way to the top and have not received answers. But I can tell those people who are asking, I can maybe shed some light. If they received a letter that they were virtual, they are teaching option 2. If they received a letter that they are transitional, that is option 3. I agree with you. Whatever option you take, even brick and mortar, these classes are excellent to take regardless of what option you're teaching. But option 2, virtually, they are doing Savas, and they don't have to do the stuff that says transitional. They're doing the Savas and the ingenuity in that. That I do know. I did get clarification on that.
Okay.
One.
I get the 2 and the 3 flip-flopped because to me it seems like the 3 is
Yeah, I do the same
the 2 should
thing.
be the 3 in my head.
This is what we're doing right now. This is considered 3.
Yeah.
Yes. So that means you are going to be following the schedule. From my understanding, you're going to be following your daily schedule. Kids will be, sitting in front of the computer when the bell rings at 8:45, 8:50 for elementary, and then just kind of moving along throughout the day.
We just really need to talk to somebody, Terry. There's so many questions, what that looks like without resources in the home environment. There's a lot of questions.
I know. This is definitely a challenge.
And when you're across 4 different schools, that's also a big challenge as well.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of questions, and I think they need to get a hold of it before people start making decisions that, and then we're in another crisis when school starts,
And I know Marissa at the secondary level mentioned in the chat that she's in the same boat. So like I said, I don't think this has never happened in the history of education that we're aware of. So I do know that everybody at the district office is working frantically right now, well past regular hours, and just trying to get a hold of that. And again, the bottom line is supporting teachers to make sure that they have everything that they need. And so we do have some time. I know I was one of those classroom teachers where my whole room and everything was put together and I was ready to teach on my first day back, not even the kids' first day back. So I understand where you're coming from.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome, hon.
I'm still looking for the login to do that. I can't get back to that sheet. Should I go to Frontline or what should I go to? It's Gail.
All right, Gail, I'm going to walk you through it. Go to ClassLink.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And then
Do
click
that.
on the red Digital Teacher Resources button.
Oh, okay, hold on. I had the wrong one. Okay, red, got it.
And then click on that first button that says Back to School 2020.
Got it. Oh, okay, there it is. And then, okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I did the other one through the one on chat earlier, the attendance, so that should be through.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. All right. I'm trying to scroll through the chat, but I'm not sure who's still here and who's not. Thanks, Teresa. Anybody else want to ask a question while we're here?